taking some time to think about this, and I'm not a big conspiracy theorist guy. I feel like I need to start with that. And I've never thought that the NBA lottery was rigged before. The Patrick Ewing draft, Knicks get bit, and there was the envelope situation. Suspicious. Sure. Boy, kind of feels like this one was rigged, doesn't it? I have a really hard time seeing how this happened for the Mavericks. I don't want to be the tinfoil hat guy, but this feels rigged. Just a little bit. Now, certainly could be the other way. It's awfully convenient that the NBA needed a little bit of juice, and Luka Doncic gets traded from the Mavs to the Lakers, and all hell breaks loose in Dallas. I mean, Luka is a franchise player, hasn't even hit his prime yet, and that's a guy that never gets traded, and it was just an unprecedented move that shook the league. It was the craziest trade of my lifetime in any sport, hands down. And then they still are like trying to win, but they're having all these injuries, and then all of a sudden it was like they might have to forfeit games because they didn't have enough guys. And they kind of forced some guys back that a lot of people thought they should shut down for the year. And Anthony Davis works his way back out on the court. And it looks like they're really trying to get into the playoffs rather than going into full tank mode. And they get towards the play-in and then there, and they knock out the Suns from the play-in. How does this happen? The parallels right now between the Suns and the Mavericks, except the Mavericks, it just feels like got thrown all the lifelines, and it's the complete opposite right now for the Suns. They get in, though, and then they get bounced out with needing just one more win to try and make it into the actual playoffs. Okay. 1.8% chance of getting the first overall pick. Pretty much everyone believes it's not going to happen. And somehow, the basketball gods decide to make everything right in the world and give them the most gift-wrapped opportunity ever. And so a team that was still pretty stacked and legitimately has a 2-year window on a championship, assuming that Kyrie is able to come back and play, is now going to add the most NBA-ready prospect since you could argue he's probably more ready coming out than Anthony Davis was. And if it's not him, you're looking at LeBron, probably the last 20 years. He's the best prospect to come out. He's going to be awesome on this team. And now all of a sudden they already had a surplus of big men, and now you're adding another guy to that mix, which means Lively or Gafford's probably going to be able to be a valuable piece that they can trade and try and get a little bit more depth at the guards spot right now, because that's where they're going to need some help. Short term, though, again, assuming Kyrie comes back, you're talking about a starting lineup that has Kyrie, that's got Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Cooper Flagg, and you toss in Gafford, or you can go Lively there at the 5. I mean, they are really, really, really good all of a sudden. Cooper Flagg can shoot it. He can handle it. He can defend guards. He can on the wing. He can go down on the post. He's an incredible playmaker for a guy his size. He's not selfish. He can rebound. He does everything at a above average to maybe elite level, and he's got no holes. And I've been watching him. You watched him a little bit kind of coming up when he was on the AAU circuit and stuff like that, but certainly every game at Duke. And I felt like, I don't know if he's your number one, if you are a championship team, but if he's your number 2, you certainly are. And if he's number 3, like the third option on your team, you are as good as any team can possibly be and have the opportunity, if you lock that up, that you could be a dynasty type team. Now, I don't know that this Mavericks team could certainly do that because the timelines don't work out. Anthony Davis and Kyrie, both injury prone, both old, or at least older, and it just doesn't line up with kind of Flag coming in. But they have their new guy. They have the new piece that comes in, and a franchise that looked a little bit dead in the water and that everyone was absolutely killing Nico Harrison after all the trades that he made. He all of a sudden is going to be just fine because the basketball guys decide to gift wrap him Cooper Flag, a guy that, again, is probably the best prospect in the last 20 years since LeBron. Maybe Anthony Davis again, but like, it's kind of take your pick right there. I can't believe this happened. It's unreal that that he's going there and it will be a part of that team and that mix. I guess if there is a consolation for Suns fans, it wasn't their pick in the trade that got it. So it's not like they lost out on the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. They still would have had the 10th overall pick, which they don't have because they traded away that pick. But just looking at it from afar, it's just, why not me? That's how Phoenix fans have got to be feeling. So they're like, this can't be real. Like, we're in the same spot, and not quite the same spot because there's talent, but I think the window is still a legitimate thing for the Mavericks, and I don't think it is right now for the Suns, but I can't believe that happens. I can't believe they got him. It makes it really interesting now what their next move is. Like I said, they're going to have a lot of depth on the front court. Could the Suns possibly now trade Durant there and get a Lively and get their picks back and does Dallas try and push all their chips to the center of the table now and really make a run at this thing? I don't know. They've got options, and a team that looked like they had a short 2-year window that had closed the moment Kyrie's knee went out, all of a sudden looks like they're not over just yet. I don't know how that happens. Feels, again, hate to be the conspiracy theorist guy, awfully convenient. After they make all those trades and they're getting buried, that all of a sudden this mystery envelope, mystery lottery balls just happen to fall their way. There's got to be a way to make this a little bit more transparent. They need to draw the lottery balls live and so that everyone can actually see it rather than kind of all the cryptic way that it happens right now and kind of everything in the shadows, because you can't have something like this happen without the integrity being questioned. It's awfully convenient that they save the league's golden goose in the Lakers and give them a team that had looked dead in the water going this year and then absolutely nothing in the future. All of a sudden now they're going to be relevant for the next 10 years. You give them a top 3 franchise player in the entire league, and then all of a sudden you just happen to get the first overall pick. It's just suspicious. It's very suspicious. Potentially good for the Suns, though, because, again, I think the Mavericks now become serious about trying to make a push for a title this year, next year, and that means there's going to be some assets that they're going to be willing to part ways with to try and go after like a Kevin Durant. I don't know. Pretty wild stuff in there. Also, kind of lost in all this, the Spurs get a great top pick as well to pair with Wemby with somebody and Castle, and they're going to be pretty nasty. Give them a couple of years to get going. It's a good draft. It's a deep draft. But that top, Cooper Flag at the top, and then after that, if you have the next 2 picks, there's some really talented players in here that are going to be future All-Stars. I think Cooper Flag is a multiple-time All-Star when it's all said and done, and a guy that's going to be a perennial he's like a top 5 player, but like I'm not sure if he's top 5 in any particular category. He's just going to be across the board really, really good at everything. And man, I don't know how the Mavericks did it, but I guess congrats to them. And if you're the Suns, it's a little salt in the wound, but also feel like maybe they just found a new trade partner who's really wanted to make a push. I got to imagine the Mavericks now are wanting to try. They're going to want to move one of those centers, so they're going to have the option. And those are going to be pretty hot commodities. But you got to get some of them out of the way to get minutes to Flag. And if you've got Flag and you're adding him to this team, you're going all in. You've got to believe that they look at it now. We have a couple of years to try and make a push. The only other option would be to like try and blow it up and just get a bunch of young picks and young guys to start and build the new timeline around Flag. But that feels wild after this kind of year. But then again, it's the Mavericks. They've had a crazy, crazy couple of years now with Nico running the show, but he hit the lottery tonight, metaphorically and literally, and all of a sudden you got Cooper Flag coming to Dallas, and the rest of the league is looking around like, I don't know, man. A little more transparency. That's all we're asking.